Hey, welcome back to Cool Quotes. Today we're going to talk about the first ever interracial kiss on American broadcast television. This story comes straight from Nichelle Nichols. She tells a shorter version in the recent years, but if you go back to the 80s, you can find some talk shows that interviewed her. She tells the full story. So here you go. It takes place on the Star Trek TV series, Season 3, Episode 10, title Plato's Stepchildren. It was broadcast November 22nd, 1968. And to put this into perspective, Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated April 4th, 1968. And 4 years prior to that, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. America was in mourning, trying to heal while still dealing with racism and fighting for equality. The cast of Star Trek were all handed their scripts to take home and study and be prepared for the following week's filming. When the cast all reconvened on Monday to begin filming, you could hear them all whispering amongst each other. They were talking, saying, "Did you read what was in the script?" "Yes, I saw it." "Can you believe they put that in there?" "I can't believe it. Are we going to be able to do this?" "Sure, why not?" "What do you mean, why not? This is a big deal. It's the first ever interracial kiss. Are we going to get away with it?" "I don't see why we can't." "Well, I'm sure some people will object." "Yeah, but we can still do this, right?" "Yeah, I don't know. They might cut this out." Nichelle says that's all they could talk about until it was time to start filming. But once they were called in, it was over. No one mentioned a thing because Gene Roddenberry and director David Alexander, they didn't say anything the whole day. We just went ahead, filmed all our scenes, came back on Tuesday, filmed another day. Mum's the word. No one's saying anything, but it's still in the script. On Wednesday, we got to that scene, but we skipped it. We filmed everything else, but not the kiss. That night, everybody wanted to hang out and talk after the show. "I bet it's cut out." "Yeah, it's cut out. We skipped it already. It's over." "Oh, man, I can't believe it." "Boy, they were real risky, weren't they?" "Yeah, that was going to be crazy." "Oh, man, can you imagine the heat that would come down on us?" "Yeah, I know." And then Thursday comes along. Everyone shows up, start filming, and they wrap up the rest of the script. The whole episode is done. There was never any kiss. But then they tell everyone to leave except William Shatner and Nichelle Nichols. Nichelle said it was a very strange scene. All of the rest of the cast were gone. Half of the production staff had been sent home. All you had were 2 microphone guys, 2 lighting guys, 1 cameraman, producer Gene Roddenberry, director David Alexander, and 2 big shots from NBC standing over there in million-dollar suits just watching. And you never see those guys. They were important. But the scariest part were the 2 other men standing in the very back. They had on black jackets, black ties, dark sunglasses, arms folded, wouldn't say a word, had the stone-cold look on their face. These were the men in black. They were from the government, and they were watching everyone. So they have Nichelle and William Shatner take their positions on set. Now this is a very intimate setting with the camera right up close and just a few people around. The scene calls for them to both be under mind control of the watchers, who are forcing them to kiss. Now they're trying to resist this urge, but it's just too strong. William is told to look directly into the camera lens right at the moment he is about to kiss. This is to acknowledge the watchers as the audience. The director says action. They both start acting out their scenes. William reaches in for Nichelle, bends her down, starts to move in for the kiss, looks directly at the camera right as their lips touch. The director yells, "Cut! What are you doing?" And William says, "I kissed her. That's what you said to do." Nichelle says the director, David Alexander, who is really a good guy, leaned in and was whispering, saying, "You can't really kiss her. Can't you see what's going on around here?" And she said, "It was like I wasn't even there. He wasn't acknowledging me right then because he was so scared of the men in black." Nichelle said she felt very offended. She stood up and said, "It's such a horrible thing that a white man's lips would ever dare touch a black woman's lips. Call me in my dressing room when you finally get this worked out." And she started to walk away. Jean comes running up and says, "Nichelle, please, it's not us." And she says, "I know, Jean. It's not you. It's not me. The scene calls for a kiss, so let's kiss. It's not that big a deal. Oh, I forget. It is a big deal to America." Right then, William Shatner tries to lighten the mood a little. He says, "Come on, everybody. This'll be the only time she'll ever let me kiss her." That does kind of lighten the mood a little bit. But then the big NBC executives walk up and say, "Reshoot the scene, but don't touch lips." Nichelle says that statement didn't make her any happier. Then William Shatner winks at her, and she thought, "Oh boy, what's going to happen now?" So they redo their makeup, line up the camera, get everything ready. The director says, "Action." They play out their scene. William grabs her, starts to come in, and he stops. He says, "Cut. That was messed up. I didn't have it right." They go, "Okay, one more try." They do it all again. Right when he's coming in for the kiss on the second try, he says, "Stop. She resisted too much. That wouldn't look right." They reset again. They line everything up. Action. He comes in, and this time he messes things up so bad it was obvious what he was doing. Nichelle said she looked around. She could tell that Jean was smiling a little. But the director, he was sweating bullets. He was mad. He comes into William and says, "We are way over time. We're running out of film. This is it. Do it right." William says, "No problem. I got this. Let's go. Last try." They reset. He says, "Action." They go in. They play out their scenes. He grabs her. He leans in. He's coming in for the kiss. And his eyes are completely crossed. He stops right before he touches lips and looks directly in the camera. The director says, "Cut! Perfect! It's a wrap! Everybody out!" Nichelle's looking around thinking, "What? That looked ridiculous. Didn't anybody notice? Not even the cameraman?" Nope, they were packing up and leaving. She reaches over, grabs William's arm, and he's like shaking it off like, no, come on, let's get out of here before we got away with one. And she's thinking, we didn't get away with anything. When they see that film, they are going to be mad. Well, by the next morning, Nichelle and William had both been called and told that they must attend today's dailies, which is something that they never attend. The dailies are where they review the footage shot the day before to make sure that everything could be edited. It's just a preview, and if something's not right, then you have to reshoot that scene. So they're both thinking, uh-oh. So they walk in the screening room, sit down, and it's just them, Jean, the director, the two NBC executives, and the men in black. Nichelle says the first scene that they played was the last one that they shot the night before. As soon as it was done, she put her head in her hands. The director turns to William and says, "Explain that, will you?" And William, just with a straight face, said, "I don't know. That doesn't make any sense." And Jean started busting up laughing. The director says, "What are we going to do?" And the two NBC executives say, "Well, why don't we use some of the other footage?" And he goes, "That was all ruined. He stopped every time before he even kissed her. He called cut." Then Jean says, "We're going to have to use the very first take." Everybody fell silent. Awkward silence. No one even looked around at each other. After about 30 seconds, the two men in black just turned around and left without saying anything. Nichelle said that they all felt like the government was going to contact them and tell them not to air that episode. But that never happened. It was broadcast, and as Nichelle would say, the world didn't end when a white man and a black woman kissed on TV. Man, times were freaky back then, but I guess they still are nowadays. But having the government hang out and watch you film a scene, that's the next level creepy. Now, this was a companion video for my complete Nichelle Nichols biography, which is on my Cool Classics channel, but subscribe here too. I'm addicted to old interviews and I'm finding some real cool stories.